So it's the nature of it's the influence, because we believe in a hylomorphic body. We actually believe that the body and the soul, we're not Cartesian. We don't believe in this separation of the ghost in the machine. We actually believe that there is a profound relationship, which is why our worship is in the body. This is why we believe in the bodily resurrection. So the body is very important to us, and taking care of the body is important to us. And the body will affect the soul, and the soul in turn also will affect the body. So these are important points about that. So that's what he's saying. So he says, فَمَهْمَا أُضِيفَ الْفِقْهُ إِلَى الطِّبِّ ظَهَرَ شَرَفُهُ. So when this fiqh is added to medicine, you will see even more sharaf, more honor. وَإِذَا أُضِيفُ عِلْمُ الطَّرِيقِ الْآخِرَةِ إِلَى الْفِقْهِ ظَهَرَ أَيْضًا شَرَفُ عِلْمُ الطَّرِيقِ الْآخِرَةِ. And if you add knowledge of the next world to fiqh, then you will see even more. And this is why traditionally the ulama were also doctors. They studied the humors, they understood people, they studied psychology. It was very important for them to understand the nature. Much of the sickness that we see today, the depression that people have, is because they're connected to all these machines all the time, and which are having a negative effect on people. And because don't forget, those are radiation, they're literally the there's vibrations coming out, they're affecting the brain, and the brain synchronizes with them. And then people don't go out in nature anymore. They don't look at nature. They don't experience nature. They don't breathe properly. They don't exercise. All of these things have an effect on us. And so a lot of people are actually very depressed simply because they're not taking care of their bodies. There's a lot of people sick for that reason. And that's why it's very important in our tradition to take care of the body. The Prophet ﷺ, in fact, in Imam Dhahabi's Tibb al-Nabawi, he says that in one riwayah, it said that his kitchen was like an apothecary because he had so many herbs and different things brewing at different times. And Aisha was asked, how did you learn knowledge of medicine? Her cousin asked her, how did you learn this knowledge of medicine so adeptly? And she said, I used to listen to the conversations of the Prophet ﷺ with the physicians. And we have an amazing hadith where the Prophet ﷺ, a man came to him and complained of his chest. And the Prophet put his hand on his chest and he said, إِنَّكَ مَفْعُودٌ, you've got some heart disease. And he said, إِلْحَقْ بِالْحَارِثِ الْكَرَدَ, go to Al-Harith Al-Karada, because إِنَّهُ يَتَطَبَّبْ, because he's a physician. So that's an example of the Prophet doing literally like a diagnostic scanning with his hand, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then giving a reference, referring him to a specialist. Amazing hadith. But Aisha radiallahu anha knew medicine very well. And the Prophet ﷺ gave us very profound medical advice. And there are hadiths indicating that people should move. Sayyidina Umar said, قِلَّةُ الْحَرَكَةِ تَعْقِلُ الْبَدَنِ, not moving enough will create blockage in the body. And he said also, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu said, لا ترموا النخالة فإنها من الطعام. Don't throw the bran away, the fiber, because it's part of the food. Refined food, in other words. What people eat today, they're sick. We get all these diseases that they don't need. The Prophet ﷺ said one of the signs of the end of time is, he said, تظهر البواسير. You will see hemorrhoids widespread. Why? That's not a disease of places where people move a lot. It's a disease of stagnation, where people are sitting too much, where they're not actually moving, they're not actually involved. So it's very important to remember those things, that this is part of being well in your body. Your body has rights over you. إِنَّ لِبَدْنِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٍّ. Your body has a right over you, to take care of it, to exercise it. And it should last, if you take care of it. People, it's amazing, like people, they eat terribly, they never exercise, and then they get a disease that is a result of their lifestyle, and then qadarullah ma sha'an fa'al. Mashallah. Ibtila. This is the way they look at it. It's just ibtila from God. No, it's an ibtila from your lifestyle. The way that you have lived has resulted in this. Don't blame God. Right? Take care of yourself. And then if you're doing all the things that you should be doing, and you still get that, then that's an ibtila. But if you're not taking care of yourself, don't blame anybody but yourself.